Laura, thank you very much indeed. They are one of the world's biggest bands, with more than 120 million records sold globally. Fleetwood Mac recently celebrated 5 decades of enduring success with so many massive hits to their name.
Well, tomorrow night, the legendary drummer Mick Fleetwood is putting on a special concert celebrating the man who helped start it all, band co-founder Peter Green. And Mick is with us this morning. Morning, Mick.
Yeah.
Morning, morning.
First, though, here's Divya Kohli.
Fleetwood Mac, one of the biggest bands of the 70s and 80s, producing massive hits from Grammy Award-winning albums such as Rumours, which sold more than 45 million copies. But their incredible road to success began in the 60s when the band was formed by Mick Fleetwood, Peter Green, John McVie and Jeremy Spencer, writing many of the early classics such as Albatross and Oh Well. Their 5-decade history has been full of controversy and turbulent times. But Fleetwood Mac has sold over 120 million records worldwide, making them one of the world's best-selling bands. In a one-off special show, Mick Fleetwood will pay tribute to co-founder Peter Green, who he calls his greatest mentor, to celebrate the early days where it all began.
And Mick joins us now. Mr. Fleetwood, great pleasure
Morning,
to see
morning.
you once again.
Too.
I mean, the Fleetwood Mac, with the pictures we just saw, with the massive success, were in this, one of the later incarnations of a band which changed many, many times, actually. But the purest incarnation, one might argue, was with you and Peter Green. Tell us a bit about Peter.
Well, that would be, 1967, when Peter and John and myself and Jeremy, then shortly after that, Danny Cohen, formed Fleetwood Mac. And Peter was most definitely the guy that was behind the whole concept of doing it and asked me to be there to play drums. And it was really a coming together of musicians that were completely involved in loving blues. Peter came out of John Mayall's Blues Breakers. Jeremy was a huge advocate of Elmore James. John and myself, likewise. So it was a perfect chemistry that came together. It was just a bunch of lads really convening to do that. We had no idea that even in those years, we almost immediately had really good reaction to the band and success with Peter at the helm.
How's Peter doing? Because tomorrow night's gig is a tribute to him.
Well, it's not a tribute.
Oh.
I always think...
A celebration.
A celebration.
Celebration of him.
Yes, a tribute is something a little just not right for me, but it is. It's about his work and acknowledging that a lot of people, understandably, the band went on for way over 50-odd years now since Peter left. And me and John, the name Fleetwood Mac, people understandably think that, maybe we formed the band, and it just seemed a really timely thing emotionally for me at this point in my career and life to really advocate and celebrate the music that we played with Peter at the helm.
Because he went his own way. He had issues with drugs, particularly LSD, and mental health issues as well, didn't he? Which plagued him for years.
Well, that is true, and Peter's spoken to that. But this is so not about that. This is about celebrating his music, and that's where I sort of put a shield around what we're doing, and it's really Peter is and was a dear friend. And changes in life did take place for him. But his music is so unbelievably connected, which is demonstrated in the amount of incredible artists that have connected and come out to do this show tomorrow.
So who's taking part?
Well, I'll try and remember everyone on the show, but anyone and everyone has a very profound story about why they're there. And it's all about Peter's music or the early years of Fleetwood Mac. Peter Townsend is there.
Wow.
David Gilmour, Steven Tyler from Aerosmith, Billy Gibbons, Zach Starkey, Ringo's lovely son, who's playing drums. Christine McVie will be there. And I'm probably omitting 3 or 4 other incredible
Such a great
players.
cast list. You mentioned the great music he's written, and I remember from when I was a kid, you know, things like Albatross and Noel, but he wrote, for me, one of the finest pop songs ever, which was Man of the World.
Well, Man of the World is actually someone that I've just forgotten to say is going to be sung by Neil Finn, who's presently, of course, in Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's such a poignant song about a young man who has everything but is still just
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking, and we had, as band members, had no idea to properly empathise with what Peter was actually going through. We simply weren't equipped to realise the subtleties of someone that is, in essence, crying out, which is a lesson learnt.
And it's a song that, I mean, is close to your
It's
heart,
in my top 10. That's always.
In fact, you did promise in the dressing room
I'm
this morning that
not going to ruin
would
Mick's morning by even beginning to sing it.
I might have to blow the whistle on you.
Yes, you are wearing a whistle around your neck.
What is the whistle for, Mick?
Well, I used to wear a whistle on stage. I don't quite know why. It was a police whistle.
OK.
And I don't anymore. And then I suddenly thought, this is actually not the one. But I thought, with what we're doing, it was apropos. So I've been holding on to... Sound guy's probably going crazy, right?
Yes, as it clashes against the microphone.
Palladium's sold out tomorrow night, but people will have an opportunity to see it at a later date.
There's a show that's going into, like, dozens, hundreds of cinemas all over the world, and then there'll be a beautifully presented documentary, which is what we've been doing. Everything has been documented from the dream of doing this, for me, selfishly, back in Hawaii. And we've been able to really pull off putting these things together are not easy, because people come and go, and then the date changes, and the venue can't be booked. So we are absolutely beside ourselves with joy. And mostly happening tomorrow.
Mostly blues, but we'll be playing some more modern Fleetwood Mac songs as well.
This is strictly the work from 1967 through till when Peter left the band. Brilliant. There'll be no Rhiannons, no Dreams.
No audience
no
requests.
Go Your Own Ways. and that's truly what this is about, is to celebrate that music.
And his unique skill as a guitarist.
Yeah, well, it's very evident the way Noel Gallagher, for instance, you would go, what's the connection there?
Yeah.
Well, Noel, he happens to know a friend of mine, that's how we got in touch to do the show. He said, no, I want to be there and sing a song. So he's singing some really cool...
Mick, great. We're out of time.
Oh, we are.
Great pleasure to see you, and good luck with the gig tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Great to see you.
You're lucky.
We're both back tomorrow.
Indeed.
Now it's time for